for McGraw Millhaven. We're pleased to have Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder with us. Good morning, Lieutenant Governor.
Good morning. Thanks for having me, Jay.
Absolutely. A lot going on in Dallas with the shootings, and then obviously in Baldwin with the shooting of the officer. What are your takes on what's going on, and where do we go from here?
Well, Jay, I posted last Friday morning as we woke up to the horrific news from Dallas. I posted a live Facebook video that people can see on my fan page, asking that we come together in prayer and unity behind our peace officers. We must stand alongside them, with them, behind them, back them up. Their service is straight out of the good book where the Lord said, "Greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for another." So they are the only thing standing between us and anarchy and lawlessness in the streets. And with regard to the tragic, awful shooting in Baldwin of the policeman who is fighting for his life ever since, I noted some fine reporting in the daily newspaper here in St. Louis over the weekend, and I tweeted it out and put it up on Facebook. Jay, this perpetrator who was promptly taken into custody in the Baldwin shooting has a long record of being in and out of prison the last decade, and he had no business being on the streets. And it seems to me a grave indictment of our criminal justice system that such a vicious, violent offender was not behind bars. I urge anyone who missed that article to go to the website and read the Post-Dispatch website and read his long criminal record. The U.S. Attorney's Office knew about this guy and had dealt with him and had tried to put him behind bars. Some combination of judges had failed us and let this guy out. We've got to get more serious about that, Jay.
In recent weeks, Police Chief Dotson has spoken out about courts and allowing people with guns back out on the streets. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, well, this felon was committing yet another felony on top of his previous ones by even possessing a firearm. He was a felon in possession. That's a felony. Before he ambushed this policeman in the most cowardly fashion from behind during a routine traffic stop. So I have said before, and I'll say again, I don't agree with Chief Dotson on everything by any means, but I certainly agree with his repeated statements. He put out some blog posts 5 or 6 weeks ago scoring the judges for their failure on this very account to let some violent criminals out on something like $2,500 bail. If I'm elected governor, Jay, I will be looking for judges to appoint, and the governor does appoint these judges, who take this responsibility seriously and put an end to this nonsense. It's endangering Missourians. It's endangering people throughout the St. Louis region.
We know that August 2nd is the primary. There are 4 candidates for governor. All of them have been on McGraw Show at various times. Lieutenant Governor, you're running for governor. What's new in the campaign? And there's a debate this evening. What can we expect to hear tonight?
There is a televised debate put on by KMOV and telecast, simulcast on stations across the state. We can look in my appeal that I am trying to run a Republican campaign like no other, signaled by the fact that I announced in North County, I believe I'm the first statewide candidate to do that, certainly for governor, to go to the Ferguson-Delwood area and say, no more Fergusons, never again will we ever have anything like that under my administration. I will back up the peace officers. I will use the National Guard when they need to be used for the purpose for which those fine young men and women were trained. We will not turn the streets of any town or city over to the criminals, the vandals, and the looters. Beyond that, Jay, the other reason I went to Ferguson is to signal that mine is a Republican campaign for governor like no other. I was introduced by an African-American Democratic businessman, Tony Thompson, whose mother I served with in the legislature, former state representative Betty Thompson from University City. And there I was signaling that I want to work with people of goodwill from all parts of Missouri. I want to be a Republican candidate who shows up not only in election years, but in non-election years to listen and learn and make an appeal for votes in, say, North County, where most Republican candidates don't ever go, into minority neighborhoods, and talk to them about safety in their neighborhoods. How do their streets look? How do their schools look? After voting 70 straight years, the straight Democratic ticket, I make an honest appeal to all Missourians that we're all in this together and we must unite to move our state forward.
Well, thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor. We look forward to the debate this evening. Appreciate your time here. Let's go now to traffic with